Good morning and welcome. We're here to break down this week's most important political stories, clear, concise, and relevant. From South Carolina's bold gubernatorial moves to Georgia's heated Senate race and a dramatic standoff in Texas, we've got you covered. We'll also look at Trump's new tariffs and what they mean for your wallet, plus a controversial prison transfer that's sparking debate about justice in America. These stories aren't just headlines. They're shaping the future of our country. Let's dive in and get you up to speed on what matters most. Stay informed, stay engaged. Here's what you need to know this week. South Carolina's political scene just got a jolt. Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace has officially launched her campaign for governor, making her a top contender in a crowded field. Her announcement, featuring praise from Donald Trump, signals a strategic shift to court the party's base. Mace's entry forces rivals to rethink their strategies and sets up a fierce primary battle. Her campaign is built on her reputation as a fighter and her high-profile presence in Congress. The race isn't just about state leadership. It's a test of the Republican Party's direction in South Carolina. With national attention focused on her, Mace must now prove she can unite a divided party. The road to the governor's mansion has officially begun. To truly understand Nancy Mace's impact on American politics, it's important to look beyond the headlines and explore the journey that shaped her into the figure she is today. Her story is one of resilience, reinvention, and a willingness to challenge expectations at every turn. Nancy Mace's background is rooted in both tradition and transformation. Growing up in a military family, she learned the values of discipline and perseverance early on. But her path was never straightforward. She faced setbacks and personal struggles that would later fuel her drive to break barriers. She made history as the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the storied military college in South Carolina. This achievement wasn't just a personal milestone. It sent a powerful message about what women could accomplish in spaces long dominated by men. Mace's determination and grit became central to her public image, earning her respect and attention nationwide. After her groundbreaking graduation, Mace entered the world of politics, starting in the South Carolina state legislature. Her campaign style was energetic and direct, and she quickly built a reputation for being unafraid to speak her mind, even when it meant going against her own party. Her rise to Congress was marked by a promise to bring fresh ideas and a new perspective to Washington. Initially, Mace was known as a critic of Donald Trump, voicing concerns about his leadership and direction for the Republican Party. But as the political landscape shifted, so did her stance. She became a vocal supporter of Trump, aligning herself with his base and adopting many of his talking points. This evolution has sparked debate. Some see it as a sign of political savvy, while others question her authenticity. Her shifting political identity is viewed through different lenses. Supporters argue that Mace is simply adapting to the realities of modern politics, showing flexibility and pragmatism. Critics, however, accuse her of opportunism, suggesting she changes positions to suit the moment rather than out of conviction. This tension has made her a lightning rod for both praise and criticism. Beyond her policy positions, Mace's personal life has also drawn public attention. From high-profile disputes to candid interviews about her struggles, she's remained in the media spotlight. Her willingness to be open about her experiences has made her relatable to some, while others see it as a distraction from the issues. Today, Nancy Mace is navigating the challenge of appealing to both traditional Republicans and the fervent MAGA base. She walks a fine line, trying to unite a party that's often divided, and her speeches reflect a blend of conservative values and calls for change. As election season approaches, voters are left with a complex choice. Is Nancy Mace the moderate trailblazer who broke barriers and speaks her mind, or has she become a staunch conservative, willing to shift her views for political gain? The answer may depend on which version of her story resonates most. One thing is certain: Nancy Mace's journey, from military trailblazer to political chameleon, has made her one of the most closely watched and talked about candidates in the race, and her next move could shape the future of her party. Mace isn't alone in this race. The Republican primary features heavyweights like Attorney General Alan Wilson, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Abbott, and Reverend Ralph Norman. Tensions are already high, with public accusations and denials fueling personal animosity. Trump's endorsement looms large. Every candidate wants it, but none have secured it yet. The primary is a test of Trump's influence and the party's future direction. Deep divisions could give Democrats an opening in the general election. The winner will shape South Carolina's policies for years to come. Will voters choose pragmatism or populism? The stakes couldn't be higher for the state's GOP. Georgia's Senate race just got a lot more interesting, and the political landscape is shifting in real time. With the eyes of the nation already focused on this crucial battleground state, a new contender has stepped into the spotlight, promising to shake up the status quo and energize voters across the political spectrum. Former football coach and accomplished attorney Derek Dooley has officially announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination, setting the stage for a high-stakes showdown against Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff. Dooley, known for his leadership both on the field and in the courtroom, brings a unique blend of charisma, discipline, and legal expertise to the race. His outsider status and widespread name recognition are already making waves, especially in a field left wide open after Governor Brian Kemp's surprising decision not to run. Dooley's entry has energized the Republican base and sparked new conversations about the future direction of the party in Georgia. Georgia remains a fiercely contested battleground, where every single vote could make the difference. The outcome of this race won't just impact the state. It could tip the balance of power in Washington, influencing national policy for years to come. Republicans are determined to reclaim a Senate seat they narrowly lost, but before they can take on Ossoff, they must first rally behind a candidate who can unite the party's diverse factions and appeal to both traditional conservatives and new voters. Dooley's campaign will be a critical test of what kind of leader Georgia's GOP voters are looking for in this new era, someone who can bridge divides, inspire confidence, and offer a compelling vision for the future. With the state deeply divided along political lines, the upcoming race is expected to be one of the most fiercely competitive contests in the country, drawing national attention and record-breaking campaign spending. The stakes couldn't be higher. Control of the United States Senate and the direction of the national agenda hang in the balance, with Georgia once again at the center of America's political drama. As the campaign heats up and candidates crisscross the state, all eyes are on Georgia. The outcome here will echo far beyond its borders, shaping the future of the nation. In Texas, political drama is at a boiling point. Democratic lawmakers fled the state to block a Republican-drawn congressional map, denying the legislature a quorum. The fight centers on redistricting. Republicans want to lock in more seats. Democrats call it a power grab. This bold move has national implications for voting rights and representation. By leaving, Democrats hope to stall the process and draw attention to what they see as undemocratic tactics. Republicans accuse them of abandoning their duties. The standoff highlights deep partisan divides in Texas and beyond. The outcome could shape the state's political landscape for a decade. The nation is watching to see who blinks first. Texas Governor Greg Abbott isn't backing down. He's threatened to expel absent Democrats from the legislature and even floated extradition from Illinois. These are extreme, unprecedented moves, ratcheting up the pressure and turning a state dispute into a national spectacle. Legal experts are divided on whether Abbott can follow through, but the threats are real. Supporters see him as a strong leader. Critics call it authoritarian overreach. The standoff exposes the limits of compromise in today's politics. The next days will determine if Texas finds a solution or spirals into a constitutional crisis. The stakes legislative control and the future of political norms. All eyes remain on Austin. On the national stage, Trump's new tariffs are about to hit American wallets. These tariffs, aimed at protecting domestic industries, are expected to have a ripple effect across the economy. Starting this week, tariffs on global imports could cost the average family an extra $2,400 a year. This increase will be felt in everyday expenses, from the grocery store to the gas pump. Prices on everything from electronics to groceries are expected to rise, adding to the strain of inflation. Consumers will need to make tough choices about their spending, potentially cutting back on non-essential items. The stock market has already reacted with volatility, and economic uncertainty is growing. Investors are wary, and the financial markets are reflecting this unease. Supporters say tariffs protect American jobs. They argue that by making foreign goods more expensive, domestic products become more competitive, potentially boosting local industries. Critics warn their attacks on consumers and risk trade wars. They argue that higher prices on imports will lead to higher costs for businesses and consumers alike, potentially slowing economic growth. Trump's firing of the Bureau of Labor Statistics chief after a weak jobs report has only fueled concerns. This move has been seen by some as an attempt to control the narrative around the economic impact of these tariffs. As these policies roll out, families and businesses are bracing for impact. Small businesses, in particular, may struggle to absorb the increased costs, leading to potential closures and job losses. The coming months will reveal the true cost of this economic gamble. Will the tariffs protect American jobs and industries, or will they lead to higher prices and economic hardship? Only time will tell. Finally, a controversial move in a high-profile legal case. Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted in the Epstein scandal, has been quietly transferred to a low-security Texas prison. The move, done without public notice, has outraged victims' families and sparked accusations of preferential treatment. Critics question the timing, just days after a meeting with a top Trump official, and demand transparency. The transfer raises concerns about fairness and whether the wealthy get special treatment in the justice system. Public trust in equal justice is at stake. This story is a stark reminder. Accountability and transparency matter, even after a conviction. Stay informed. These stories shape our country's future.